Thank you for all you done.
Dear Father, have mercy on me.
It's the Sheltons.
I know it gets hard sometimes, a little bit rough, but you gotta trust God sometimes. He'll never leave you. I know at times it feels you have no one to turn to, but my God is not the type that would desert you.
He's so powerful, he's so amazing. His love's unconditional. Can I get an amen? He's so incredible. I sing his praises. And if you understand, let me see a show of hands.
Dear Father, our Father, have mercy on me. I know we're imperfect, but have mercy on me.
You told me you wouldn't put more on me than I could bear, so I'ma trust your word and know you'll always be there. Oh,
so Father, dear Father, have mercy on me.
Talk to him.
Everyone falls sometimes, so I get back up. I can't speak for everybody, but I know what he brought us. I know at times you feel you got no one to turn to, but my God is not the type that would desert you.
he's so powerful, he's so amazing. His love's unconditional. Can I get an amen? He's so incredible. I sing his praises. And if you understand, let me see a show of hands.
Dear Father, our Father, have mercy on me.
Have mercy on us.
I know we're imperfect, but have mercy on me.
You told me you wouldn't put more on me than I could bear, so I'ma trust your word and know you'll always be there. Oh,
So Father, dear Father, have mercy on me.
Have mercy on us. So, Father, once again, we come not asking for anything, but simply thanking you for all you've done. It's the Sheltons.
Worldwide Podcast.
No one knows the day.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. You live at the breakfast table with Pastor Jack. We got a hot show for you today, man. Don't miss it. Call your friends, call your homies, tell them tune in.
Good morning. Welcome back to the breakfast table. You're live with Pastor Jack. I got Sam. I got my girl Doc on the line, man. It's been one of those weeks, man, where you have to just kind of hold on to the little bit that you have left. Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Well, how are you?
I can't complain. You know, I got a chance to see 50 Shades of Freed yesterday. It was good. Anybody else get a chance to? Now, I know we're all anxiously anticipating the arrival of Black Panther. I read that Black Panther has added $89.3 million to Georgia's economy. That's some money. That's
wow.
That's squat.
Anybody
y'all going to see Black Panther? Y'all going to see
of
the
course.
Panther? Okay, cool.
Yeah, of course.
Is it sold out? Is it sold out where you guys are?
Yes. For weeks.
No. Oh, really? Yeah, well, it's not sold out here.
Oh, well, go figure. Well, go figure. What did you expect, Sam? I can see if you were doing a capital campaign to galvanize those Tennessee black bodies, but you can't. It's just something that you just can't do. All right, but I can't wait to see Black Panther. I think that I think it's already proven that if black people can champion behind something, indeed we can make a major move and shift in the direction that we need to go.
This is the discussion and the question that everybody has. So what are we wearing to this? Are we wearing all black? Are we doing the Huey Newton, Stokely Carmichael thing? Or are we wearing our African attire from the motherland? What are we doing for this movie?
Well, let's
Black America needs to know, and we need to be together on this.
Real quick, before we got to realize this, and y'all know this for a fact. Let's just look at this movie as all of the cousins coming to the family reunion. And you send out an email blurb or some type of correspondence to all the cousins saying, hey, Mama want us to wear purple and white because that's Mama color. And everybody, okay. It's always that one family. And in this case, it won't be just one family because we're talking about all our cousins across the country. So it's going to be that group of cousins who it's like that. I know good and well you got the email. But instead of you following the instructions, you went and put on pink because you mad with somebody else, first of all. Second of all, you don't care about what the rest of the cousins doing, so you just want to come and turn up and get drunk. So you know you're going to have that cousin at the theater who going to be loud, who got their own lunch, who don't care about the next cousin next to them. So my thing is this. Let's not be more concerned about what the cousins are wearing because, you know, your cousins, they can wear what they want to wear anyway. Let's make sure that the cousins know that when we're going into this theater, don't be movie hopping. Don't be going into once Black Panther over. Don't be going into other theaters being rude and ghetto. Ain't no yelling in the theater while you're there. No drinking. If I smell 1 ounce of weed, I'm going to have a problem. This is not what we're going to do, family. We're going to enjoy seeing our cousins on the screen. That's it.
Amen.
I feel like this, we all family, man. But and I know I've seen the posts and the reports about what is everybody gonna wear. We know how to dress, and the black community, we gonna spend unnecessary money on having the latest outfit. My concern is, are you gonna embarrass me, cousin? Yo, stop all that talking, cuz. So can we talk about that? Can we talk about the rules of the game first?
Sure, why not?
I'm mad because you got all these, like you have a plethora of theaters that offer different things. So, now there are theaters popping up across the country that offers alcohol in the theater. So you always got a cousin that's like, well, if they selling popcorn, that's too expensive. I'm going to bring popcorn. You feel me? If they selling soda, that soda's $7 a pop. I'm going to bring canned sodas. We've been doing that for years. I understand that. But there's still going to be a cousin in the theater who's like, they selling Hennessy. I'm not buying their Hennessy. I got my own in my bag. Mom, put it back. And why are you passing it down the aisle? This is not what we're doing, cousin. I digress.
Well, Mr. Jackson, how about the food? I can't have you bringing your McDonald's and your Wendy's Happy Meals in there so that, you can keep your kids quiet because you couldn't find a babysitter.
They y'all cousins. So y'all, all I'm saying is be ever so mindful that we're going to be dealing with an amalgamation of issues when we're watching this movie. It's not just going to be, is everybody ready for the photo? No, because somebody's going to be in the bathroom naturally. But we're going to be dealing with some issues that are bigger than attire. I'm telling you. So we got to make sure nobody fights. These are all the things I'm concerned about. Whether somebody might want, she comes to the movie and she just happened to come to the same movie of the girl whose baby father she's sleeping with. Come on, bro. You just happened to come to this one. So, sorry, Sam. I know where you were going with this, Sam, but I've been thinking about this, as you can tell, and I'm nervous.
Well, I think we just leave it, to somebody, I guess, that can maybe bring us together. I don't know who it's going to be, but somebody will make the call on what to wear. And I'm sure Black people across the country you'll see us marching in. I'm in favor of wearing the African. I just love it. I think that is the boldest statement that we can make. But if you want to go the Black Panther route, I think that's quite appropriate as well. So.
I'm wearing army fatigue. I'm wearing camouflage.
It's going down. See?
Okay.
And then Sam, check me out. Imagine
camouflage and Timberland boots.
Imagine all your cousins on the group chat.
We said African or Black Panther.
We all on the group chat. And we like, what we wearing?
I'm wearing army fatigue.
Fatigue. No, good.
Camouflage. Camos.
Good. You ain't just hear us go on and on about what. And
listen, I have to be ready for whatever.
Sam,
I have to be ready.
In this case, it's always your favorite cousin. See, it's like the one that's like, yo, and I thought I was going to be able to talk her into the right thing. No, yo, because I'm wearing fatigues, though. I'm wearing my camera because they keep, no, and you know what, because Blank's got me effed up, yo. Okay. All right, yo.
Yes,
okay.
And people play too much.
But you ain't done that yet, though. Like, so yeah, Sam, doctors prove
just
my
if.
Just
in case.
I think she did that just because she is intelligent, and I think she knew that was going to take me from. She's sitting there. I know what I'm gonna say. They talking about wearing black and African regalia. I'm gonna wear camouflage. No, babe. We talking about. Help us, look. So yeah,
camos and my Timberland boots. Now you forgot my boots.
Always the favorite cousin. It's like that. But Mama said wear purple and white. I know, yo, but I ain't got no purple. Okay. But you don't got fatigues either. You gonna go buy that? You gonna go buy fatigue?
Speaking of our cousins, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was saying, speaking of our cousins, you know how when you have that family gathering, you always got that one cousin or a family member, I should say. Mainly, that's most of the time it's family members that are kind of up in age. They just get to the point they just want to just tell everybody's business.
Mm-hmm. And everybody gonna say them to them.
Yeah. So let's talk about Quincy Jones, y'all, and this interview with Vulture Magazine. What's that about? What is Quincy Jones?
That's our uncle at the party. who looking at his nieces, but because he don't remember they're his nieces. And
I just can't believe. I mean, you just called everybody out.
And you gotta be like, that's your niece, oh, that's, who that? That's your sister granddaughter, okay. You know what I mean? That's what you don't remind me.
But I'm just saying, like, really, like, this is like he was saying some major stuff.
Yeah.
In this interview, like some heavy stuff.
He said, what did he say about? He said Michael Jackson was greedy.
Michael Jackson was greedy. Said he stole songs. Said he stole what was it, Billie Jean, and another one. He stole something from Donna Summer. Then he goes on to talk about how he dated Ivanka Trump.
Oh God, yeah.
And then goes on to talk about Richard Pryor's sexuality and Marvin Gaye and Marlon Brando. I mean, it was really, really, really exposing, and it
sounds like
dementia.
It just sounds like he's on the onslaught of maybe dementia or Alzheimer's, and
that's what I was reading.
Yeah, he's forgetting that certain things you keep, in the group text. You don't You don't tell the world. You don't tell the other side what we do. That's like what Mama used to say. When you leave this house, whatever happens in this house stays in this house.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm talking about? And he forgot that, and because he got old, and he might be battling issues that we don't know about. And then you got to sit back and think. Imagine Quincy Jones and Ivanka. Now, I'm not putting it past either of them, but really, dude.
I mean, that White House hasn't issued a statement regarding it, so.
It has not?
No. I mean, I've searched. They haven't addressed it, so.
Well, they fired Omarosa 3 times before she was brought to the White House. If I fire somebody 3 times before I'm elevated to a higher office, that's the last person I'm going to call for anything. I'm the dumb one for hiring her back after firing her the first time. There was a reason.
Absolutely.
And so
well, unless you have dementia and you forgot.
Yeah. Well, now I know y'all saw that thing blow up in the back of his head. Now, what was that about? Y'all ain't see his head blow up going up to the Air Force One?
No.
Uh-uh.
Oh, I missed it.
That. So he's going up the stairs leading to going into the plane, and the wind is blowing on him. And as he walks up the stairs, and this is reported on CNN and other places, as he walks up the stairs, the back of his hair completely flips upward. So you
my goodness,
nothing but a bald head under there. And he tries to play it off when he gets to the top of the stairs. He wants to fix it, but he knows that if he fixes it, it's going to bring attention to it. So what he does is he turns around halfway, waves, and then hurries into the plane. And so it's
that's the smartest thing he's done during his administration. That's the smartest thing he's done.
Hurry up. Hurry up and run, Donnie. Hurry up and go. Hurry up and go. I'm sorry, man. It's time for breaking news, man. Sam has been dancing around and I've been interrupting him because he got a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. So I'm going to shut up and let Sam get through his breaking news. My fault, Sam.
Oh, no, you're good. So this coming in from the Washington Post. This week, the state of Maryland offers $100 million to settle a decade-long case involving the state HBCUs. Governor Larry Hogan made the offer on Wednesday to finally settle the 12-year-old lawsuit dating back to 2006. And basically, what's the story behind it, alumni of Morgan State University and other HBCUs from the state of Maryland filed suit against Maryland because they were spending disproportionately on their, PWIs. Is that the political correct term to use now? Everything changes so much.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, PWIs, yeah. So they were spending disproportionately on their PWIs versus their HBCUs, and they took them to court. And they've been in court for the past 12 years, and the state of Maryland has offered them $100 million, and next, I believe that the complainants in the suit have rejected the settlement. Yeah, I mean, $100 million over a span of 12 years, I think that's a bit of an insult, especially when you consider you got, Coppin, Morgan, and Eastern Shore, and Bowie. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are the three, yeah. And they're all public. They're all state institutions, correct? Yeah. So, yeah, and now North Carolina had a case like this, too, not too long ago, didn't they, Dr. Proctor?
Yes, but of course, no one knows where we are on that. I'm very impressed with the state of Maryland, the HBCUs there, coming together to say, hey, I remember, well, not I remember, but, back during the 60s and the civil rights movement, we were talking about being equal and not necessarily being equitable. And, you can equally have nothing. And that's what they have equally had, nothing. So now it's time to fight for equity to where we want to say, hey, if this is the budget for education, we are an educational institute as well, or institution as well. So we want our fair share. We don't want to be equal. We want equity, which is what, the Black Arts Movement was talking about, equity, because we can equally have zero and all of us have zero. Yeah. It's a Jedi mind trick.
We all equally broke.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
But you are equal, but you're equal, which is what you wanted, right? So that's what they wanted. They didn't say anything about money or equity. Absolutely. Absolutely. Say the PWIs or the majority institutions were fighting for equity. So we missed that memo. We didn't get that email either, Mr. Jackson.
Yeah. And some of us don't check emails. Yeah. I think what the black community is afraid of is that bill collectors have started sending out emails. I ain't get an email yet from a bill collector. And
they
so
are
I
getting
think
clever.
it's good. They're getting swift. They're coming a bit swift. But they're not sending out emails just yet. So we can rest assured that if you get an email from Black Twitter or the black community, it's coming from us. It's from us. We need to have a listserv anyway. We need to have our own database of all things black, black hair care products, black businesses, black, schools, things like that, all churches, all things black, so that in the event that somebody's having a black breakdown, they can just go right on the little app and get what they need to satisfy their blackness. Now, who's going to use
that SOS.
This is what we do in time of emergency. All black people, y'all know mama can't run, so don't be trying to make it. Just listen. Put it in the basement.
Grandma too.
Mama and them.
Mama and them.
We gotta look out for them, man.
Yes, we do.
Trump
Absolutely.
don't care.
Absolutely.
At this, we might have to come up with a plan for DACA. See, because what DACA, what the Dreamers are fighting for is an opportunity to live in a land that, and in some instances, they regard as a paradise or a dream country. What black people have come to realize is this place ain't all it's cracked up to be. And it's nice, and we love America because we've become acculturated and assimilated and all those kinds of things. And many of us would not move back to Africa if we were paid to do it, because we would not be able, in some instances, to fathom a new lifestyle outside of America. But the truth is, persons can make a good life wherever they are in the world. I'm not saying that, dreamers should not have, because they're here, they belong here. But I've come to realize about America that it is not all that people make it out to be. And it's a major separation of us against them. And if you don't have the money that the 1% has, you're just trying to make it. That's all. You hand over fist, one step at a time. And so I pray for dreamers. I do pray for dreamers most nights, and this is because most of my Spanish-speaking students are dreamers, and so I would be I would be remiss if I said I didn't have a heart in the matter. But I do have.
But to me, that's crazy. That's just crazy, because if he would just go ahead and allow them to become citizens, it's mostly, that group of people who vote for Republicans because of, they're Catholic and conservative and, their views and things of that nature. So,
right.
I'm kind of torn with that, because if they leave, then what you do is you allow, white people and whiteness to, further spread and have more power, because we live in a capitalist society. And then if you keep them here, it's almost like, well, then you got the Republicans that might just stay in office because, of course, we know our brown sisters and brothers, outnumber us. So it's kind of like, what's the lesser of the two evils?
Right. Good point. So you got
white privilege or... Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Well, I was saying, the lesser of the two evils, is it white privilege or white privilege?
Well, right. Which are you going to live with? You want white privilege, or you want white privilege with a little extra side of white privilege?
Right. Extra white privilege, like the whitest white privilege
on the side.
Absolutely.
People when they eat, they like to dip their food now, so they want to make sure that it's got white privilege on it. It tastes like white privilege, but every now and again, I want just a little more white privilege. So
just in case I miss a spot.
Right. I need
and Mama can't let us leave food on the table, on the plate, so we got to make sure you get all of it.
Eat it all.
All your food.
We're not wasting no food.
Absolutely. People dying in the world. Can't waste that food. Better eat that whiteness. Consume it.
White privilege.
Consume it at all costs.
And only what's in me can come out of me, so.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Absolutely. That was deep.
Wow.
Are we going
to break?
No.
Okay. So George Gaskin, the district attorney for San Francisco, Wednesday announced that the city of San Francisco will immediately dismiss all marijuana-related misdemeanor charges and convictions going all the way back to 1975.
Oh, wow.
I think that this is what you call real restorative justice. Everybody's getting all excited about legalize marijuana. I think that's cool, but I don't think that does anything for the people that were wrongfully convicted. And the criminalization of marijuana was used to, disenfranchise our black men. And I don't think we can legalize it without doing something, implementing some true restorative justice on the back end for those persons who have been convicted and are facing these misdemeanor charges. So I applaud you, District Attorney George Gaston. Thank you for making this bold move. I think this is great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
wow.
You still got to go further than that. You're taking the people out of jail, but, if you're legalizing stuff and because it's still illegal, you can't take your money to the bank and, take apart or pay your taxes on it, which I'm regretting. I wish April 17th that day didn't exist because, I already know I'm going to have to pay back some money, although I didn't get any money. I'm going to have to pay something back. There's just other things to me that have to go along with that or should be an addendum to, or I don't know, some special provision as well, because again, it's like you do one thing, but that one thing is not enough. It's just not enough. And I mean, and then the damage that has been done to all of those people who couldn't get jobs, or, if it's, depending on how much it was, if it's a felony status, you can't go to college and get financial aid, and, things like that. So it's like, what are you going to do about all of that, especially if you're going back to 1970?
75.
75. Okay. Well, I was only 4 then, but still, I'm sure I've been impacted by it some kind of way. I want my 40 acres.
Exactly. I want all my uncles back. I want all my uncles.
Thank you. Some of my aunts.
Yes.
because we ride or die. So, I want some of my aunts back too.
Oh, yeah. I want my peoples back.
Absolutely.
All the people who you took as a result of this, I want them back. I want them. My Auntie Maxine put it the best. She said, "We reclaiming our time. I want it back."
I mean, it's almost like that's a great gesture, but it's like, okay, and I applaud it along with you, Sam, but it's like, okay, yeah, but that's the least you can do. Like, I'm so sick of people focusing on the least you can do. What's the most you can do? Or how about, why don't you just do the right thing? You don't have to worry about least and most.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we say that a lot. Well, at least I did that. Well, how about the most you could have done was just do it, period.
Right.
And do it right.
Right, the first one.
Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely. You have to worry about the least. Like, why are we always focusing on the least? That's why we have the least. Because the least is good enough. Not for me. It's not. Absolutely
right.
not.
Not the least is good enough. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
While they are doing that on the West Coast, we have in the state of Florida a landmark case. U.S. District Judge Mark Walker has found the Florida system for restoring felons' voting rights to be unconstitutional. This suit was brought against the state of Florida in 2016 by 8 convicted felons who served their time along with their parole, paid all of their restitution fees, and then made applications to have their voting rights restored, and were still denied on some type of technicality. So they took their case to the federal court, and Judge Mark Walker this last week, declared Florida's system for that to be unconstitutional. Now, when they're going to create a new system and what that means, I don't know, because we all know from history, I mean, a lot of times legislation doesn't pay attention to what the courts have to say. But I do think it's great that it's on record that the federal courts have given their opinion about how Florida restores voter rights to its felons. So we just watch and wait and see what happens.
Absolutely.
Hey, Doc, you were going to say something?
No, just it seems like Florida always has something going on. But, if that's the state of Bush, then it's always got to be something. But, and I just didn't think that it could get any worse than the Bush family. And then here comes Trump. So you got to be careful what you say, what you wish for. Just like, oh, how low can we go? Well, there's always lower.
Yeah.
And still problematic.
I would like to see something. I would like to see if the state of Florida is going to address this whole stand your ground.
Absolutely. Again, you put something in the news, but you got larger issues that are still hurting people even more, that you get these lawsuits and what have you. I would like to see them address stand your ground as well.
Yeah.
And actually start prosecuting people for standing their ground, like on city property. Like if you're in the street, that's not your ground.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? None of these people getting killed in somebody's yard. They're getting killed in the street. Like, you don't own the street. It's just as much the person that you shot than it is yours, which means it belongs to neither. Like, can stand your ground actually mean on your property, in your yard? Or how about in your house?
Right. And then this is what really kills me. Trayvon's father was a homeowner in that community.
Absolutely. And it didn't even matter.
You know what I'm saying? Like, his dad owned property in that housing development, along with George Zimmerman. Trayvon was standing his ground just like you were standing your ground. You were just the one with the gun.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
But don't get me back on that. Let's.
Trayvon turned 23 this week.
Yes, he would have.
And Sandra Bland turned 31.
Yes, all their names.
All the names. I mean, let's offer up a real quick moment of silence for the birthdays of Trayvon Martin and Sandra Bland. Amen.
Amen.
So we know that we got to continue to fight. I mean, the struggle is real, man. It's real. And we have something to blame it on. We can blame it on Trump and Trump America, but we took for granted the man that we had. We thought that he should have been a great white hope when he was just a leader for a movement that was bigger than him and will always surpass him. And because now he is not the leader of the movement, he's a member in the movement. And as you can see, even he is learning how to navigate citizenship in this America. Truth of the matter is, with this DACA issue so prevalent, you do know that Trump has been arguing DACA, and he ain't been using these words, but the birther movement was an attack against immigration and illegal residency, because he endeavored to prove that President Obama was an illegal immigrant. And so he's been spewing this venom about immigration and illegal aliens for years. He's just now able to use his powers to make a big deal about it. And so if he had it his way, if he got one whiff that Obama was not from here, Obama would be the first one deported, just to be able, just to make a statement.
Yes, and they would take the military and give him a nice parade and waste taxpayers' money as they escorted him to the border.
I thought I was going to escape that. A military parade.
Military parade.
You know what else? You know what else he's going to have in that? He better have a huge life-size button. He better, before, either at the beginning of the parade or at the end of the parade, there should be a really, really big red button that just goes down so that he can prove that his button is bigger than North Korea's. He just need to have a button in the parade.
And it's really sad, because it just really goes to show, first of all, how he really doesn't understand our country and our government. We don't have those displays of military power, of military parades, because that's not the type of state. This is not a militaristic state. This is this is a republic.
Right.
So while we do have a military, and we do have parades in times of war as our troops, bidding farewell to our troops as they're going off, but we're not at war, officially right now with anyone. You see what I'm saying? So him wanting to do this military parade, it's just, he's showing really who his role models are when it comes to world leadership. He looks up to people like Kim Jong-un. He looks up to people like Vladimir Putin. He looks up to, Hitler and Stalin and Lenin and Mussolini. I guess those are his role models. So, what what the future holds for us, I'm just really, really hoping that we can flip this House of Representatives in 2018 and they can go ahead and file articles of impeachment, and we can just get him out before December. I just really want to have a nice Christmas.
I would like to have one too, but my thing is who's going?
February, because they won't be sworn in until January. So yeah, let's say February, March of 19. Hopefully he'll be out of there. So
right, but who's going to go to that parade? And then what are you going to do? Like, who's protecting us while everybody's marching for the president?
Well,
the parade, I don't know.
I don't think he's.
do you think about that?
I don't think he cares. All he wants is a parade. It's like a baby. I have 2 children, and I can give them a lot of instructions as to what I need them to do prior to getting whatever they're begging me for. But they don't hear what I'm saying. They only want what they want. And so I'll say, no, you cannot have a lollipop until. My daughter will come back and reinforce the conversation and say, Daddy, I got to wait. Now, I never said wait. I said you can have it when you do X, Y, and Z. Okay, so Daddy, you told me I can have it later? See, I never even said later. I said you can have it. So if you go and clean and pick up your toys now, you can get it. But you got to do this first. So Trump, it's like, Mr. President, well, you can't You can't have real actual missiles at the parade. Maybe we can do a few mock-ups just for the parade. You mean to tell me I gotta wait? No, Mr. Trump. We were saying that you cannot.
Can't do it.
You cannot dress in army. You mean to tell me I gotta? No, Mr. Trump. We were saying that you cannot do this. Oh,
that's not how this works.
Who do I talk to? You're talking to the right people, Mr. Trump, and we're telling you
any of this works.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works, Mr. Trump.
But we gave him a parade already. It was called his inauguration. Like, he needs to accept that.
It wasn't enough people there.
Well, of course, but it's not going to be anybody at this one. So was he going to give him parade so people show up?
Even federal employees, if they got to take liberal leave to go, they're going to take the liberal leave and they're not going. They're not going. They're not going. I know one thing. I'm not showing it as a historical movement, a historical point in the life of America in my classroom. I'm not discussing it as a point of privilege. I'm not changing my lesson plan just because of it. I'm not turning on the TV so they can watch it. And so my kids will be uninformed as we deal with our Black History Month projects, where they must become a member of Black history. So they cannot give me Dr. Martin Luther King was born on. They must say, I am Dr. Martin Luther King, and I am Sojourner Truth or whomever, and I was born on. And they must look that way. So my kids are busy. They must look like whomever they're becoming. They must become that person, and they must present it before the school. We don't have time for Trump's war and his military parading.
But it's an insult, though. I mean, I don't know how many children you have in your classroom that have parents that are in the military or have lost parents, from going overseas to fight or just lost them just to, just accidents. But it's like you can't, a parade, really. Yeah. It's almost like he's trying to, or he suffers from, one of Michael Jackson's biggest issues, which was I didn't have a childhood. But, being in the White House is not the time for you to, slide down the poles, the staircase, all of that kind of stuff because you want a childhood and you think everything is a joke. I mean, that's just, I can't remember who it was on television, but it's somebody high up in the administration with the military. He was just like, that is absolutely not what we are about. I mean, he was infuriated.
Yeah.
He was so infuriated that it brought laughter to me because, I'm sure he probably just wants to go to the White House or the whoop-ass room in the White House to say, you know what, just meet me there.
Yeah,
I've had enough of you. Just, come on. You've been asking to go to the room because you want to know what's in there. So I'm going to show you what's in the whoop-ass room.
Break it down. Come on, Trumpy. Put your sandwich down, get up, and let's go.
Put your Big Mac down since he likes burgers.
Yeah. Because we got to talk. And no more bites. No more bites. I know you want another one, but no more. It's time.
And I'm not going to mess your hair up.
You were talking
it's gonna be a one-hitter quitter.
Right, and I'm laying you down, bro. You were talking about the time where I believe on a naval ship or somewhere, some black sailors were marginalized, or there was some type of hate gesture shown toward them. I think a noose was hung on one of their doors or something, and the commanding officer comes out and says, "Listen, I don't care what you guys hear in the news. I don't care what y'all seeing, what y'all believe, but if you're going to serve in this military under my command, we're not having that. And if you don't want to participate in a level of cordiality and respect for one another, we can let you go right now." I mean, I saw that, and it wasn't like I'm not entertaining questions. It's not a question. We're not dealing with racism here on this ship. And if, in fact, you cannot understand that, this is when you can get off, period. You know what I mean? And I appreciate hearing that because you would think that he would have brushed under the rug and said, all people are created equal and have the same inalienable rights. Isn't that what what Ivanka Trump tweeted during her Black History Month thing? That's what she said. She said, we're still interested in supporting the lives and whatever of all people. No, right now it's about Black people. Right now,
This service is provided in high definition by free conference call.
days, it's about Black folk. This one.
Wow.
Such as life.
Again.
Hey, Doc, I got a question for you.
Sure.
So I've been walking through some books, or working through some books that I'm going to share with our listeners on our page. But I saw something that spoke to a stay woke. We all need to have a stay woke. I think the writer put it commercial or something that plays in our mind every so often when we forget rather where we're supposed to be going. And I thought that was cool to provide people with a stay woke segment, right? An opportunity where they can begin to think about the things that they forgot about as they were living in bliss or trying to forget how horrible things are going on in America. So at some point, Doc, I'm going to need you to give us a Stay Woke segment, man. I'm going to need you to share with my listeners just things that we forgot over the course of whether it was post-traumatic stress that caused us to forget where we need to be, what we need to be doing, or just laziness, which says I don't have the energy to do what I know I need to do. But at some point, I want you to help us with staying woke. And I think there's no better person to do that.
This service is provided in high definition by free conference call HD.com.
Stay woke. Don't forget you're live at the breakfast table with Pastor Jack.
Can you feel the power? Yeah, it's your girl Ree, and I'm so excited to be coming to you Mondays, every single Monday on Pep Talk with Ree. We're going to have praise, empowerment, and prayer. This is going to be amazing. Interviews, great music, and just a time for us to stay motivated. Listen, Monday, some people look into that and be like, yeah, Monday. But you know what? This is Pep Talk with Ree. So y'all be ready and excited and stay locked on Positive Power Christian Media Network.
On my knees I pray, Lord, please make a way. Oh Lord, Satan's on the attack. He's trying hard to turn us back. Oh Lord, I won't go back, no, no trials. Always seem to come my way. There's a brighter day. There's gonna be a brighter day, yeah. Though trials always seem to come my way, I'm gonna smile anyway, yeah. So hold your head up high, always looking to the sky. No need to be in despair. God is right there. Trust in God and never doubt. He will surely bring you out. God is all we need. So hold your head up high, always looking to the sky. No need to be in despair. To the sky. No need to be in despair. God is right there. Trust in God and never doubt. He will surely bring you out. God is all we need. Let Him set you free. On my knees I pray, Lord, please make a way. Oh Lord, Satan's on the attack. He's trying hard to turn us back. Oh Lord, I won't go back, no. No trials always seem to come my way. There's a brighter day. There's gonna be a brighter day, yeah. No trials always seem to come my way. I'm gonna smile anyway, yeah. Oh
Welcome back to the Breakfast Table. You're live with Pastor Jack. We're going to end our segment today with a Stay Woke segment from Dr. P. Dr. Proctor Walden is a professor at Claflin. Am I right? Claflin University?
Yes. Yes.
And she is bad. I'm meaning to ask her what was the outcome of the grant, but we'll talk about that offline. Dr. Proctor, what's up with the Stay Woke segment?
Okay, so there's so many things that I could say at this point, and I wanted to make sure that I started with what to me is the center of everything, which is education. And I want to go back to my good friend, Carter G. Woodson, and the miseducation of the Negro. And his quote, or the quote that I would like to leave you all with, is this idea that, education is supposed to inspire one to live life more abundantly. However, for the Negro, it's worked to the contrary. I don't think that people understand that the reason why you go to college, the reason why you get your informal education, such as from your elders or going to church on Sunday or Bible study, is so that you can then go out and read and enhance the lives of someone who wasn't there. This sense of giving back to your community, et cetera, or doing something without anything, expecting anything in return just because you're able to do it and do it lovingly. You know how we say in the church, God loves a cheerful giver. Well, that doesn't mean just tithing, every Sunday. You're supposed to give of the things, whatever it is that you've been blessed and fortunate enough to have an opportunity to experience. So I just want people to understand that, you can start with this idea of staying woke by understanding that the talents you have are not for you. They are for you to share with someone else, because you have to serve the God that resides in others if he resides or abides in you. There you go. I'm going to drop the mic.
Wow. You have to, okay, I'm going to just, okay. Listen, guys, you've been on at the Breakfast Table with Pastor Jack. You can hear, you can tell that we're passionate about what we do, and we're serious about taking and progressing and moving the Black agenda forward. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, or you have anything that you want us to talk about on the show, hit us at H2WPJ. That's a H2WPJ on Facebook and Instagram. On Twitter, you can find us at _H2WPJ. Again, you were live on the Breakfast Table with Pastor Jack. God bless you. See you next time.
That's right. Yeah. Pray to him. You got to put in the work too. That's right. You just can't pray. He just give it to you. No, he ain't gonna give it to you. You gotta put in the work. He gon' put in the work. We gon' put in the work. And we put it together, and it's called teamwork. Now everybody knows that nothing comes easy when you got a goal inside. You might have a chance, but you gotta have faith if you want the right things in life. If you want that, everybody wants that easy road. Nobody wanna put in the work. Then you point your fingers at God 'cause it didn't work. Now you got your feelings hurt. Why? Because you did not pray. Why? Because you didn't have faith. Why? Your heart was not in the right place. Why? Or maybe you was in a dark place. But this is not the time to be down. So you better stand up. You better turn that frown upside down. And you better man up. You gotta put in the work. He gon' put in the work. We gon' put in the work. And we put it together, and it's called teamwork. See, everyone in life has had to go and face their fears. And if there is a lack of prayer, then soon follows the tears. So never give up hope, because there is nothing to fear. Just put in the work and you will see it all so clear. Oh, so clear. got to focus on you.
Oh, so clear.
And when you plant that seed, that's when you break on through. There is no